Hello, and welcome to the Sunday meditation at the Light Institute of Galisteo and the Sanctuary of Light. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we divide our meditation into 3 parts. In the first part, we ask our divine higher selves to take form so that we have a point of reference to recognize that we can align to this, that this is who we are. We are our higher selves. And then we draw the higher self in so that we can sit in meditation. I'll make a little sound so that you can push the button on your apparatus and meditate for as long as you like. In the second part of the meditation, we imagine that we reach up into the cosmos and pull down a beautiful beam of pure white light down to the top of our heads into the solar plexus area. This is the center of the emotional body. And as we exhale, we extend that white light through our auric fields out across the planet, back up into the sky. And we just continue that pattern of breathing. Breathing in, drawing the white light down, exhaling it across the planet, illuminating the planet, and back into the cosmos. That'll take you into a beautiful, deep, meditative state. In the third part of our meditation, people suggest how we could take these meditative energies and extend them out into the world. This week, we're going to extend out an energy to cool our planet. We do have the wherewithal, we have the memories, the psychogenetic memories of influencing, not controlling, but influencing weather and connecting to nature. Our planet is too hot right now. So we will extend our energies by asking the planet what color it needs to cool down, and then reaching up into the cosmos so that you never take it from you, but you are the vehicle of it, and you extend it out. Another Om, and that's the first part of our meditation. We begin with our breath, breathing in through the nose, holding at the top, and exhaling by puckering your lips. Very, very slow exhale, which slows down the brain patterning into alpha meditative states. Let's begin. Breathe in through your nose, keeping your eyes closed so that your whole consciousness is turning inside. Hold at the top and exhale very slowly. And once again, breathe in through your nose, hold at the top and exhale slowly. And now ask your higher self, the intuitive essence of your soul, your own inner voice, to take a form for you. It could be a sunrise, a star, a being, any kind of light, a tree, an animal, an equation. Just ask your higher self to take a form that will uplift you, that will shift you at this moment, that will help you. Take the first form that comes. And now ask your higher self to touch your body where you hold your divine essence at this moment. You can feel the touch anywhere in your body. When you imagine that place, begin to breathe in and out through that point, creating a vortex, creating an entryway. And then draw your higher self into that point of reference of your sacred source. And sit in meditation. Reach up into the cosmos with your consciousness and pull down a beautiful beam of pure white light down to the top of your head. and bring it down into your stomach area, your solar plexus, the center of your emotional body. And as you exhale, laser that white light out from you and then across the planet, illuminating through this white light the planet, back up into the cosmos. Inhale it down and exhale it out from you across the planet. And simply continue to do that pattern of breathing. Allow it to take you deeply within your own self. And now imagine the planet Gaia and ask Earth, what color, what frequency of light will cool down our planet so that the animals and the living forms are not dying because of this excess heat, to rebalance the energies. And just take the first color that comes into your consciousness. And again, draw that color from the cosmos down to the top of your head and laser that frequency of light out to any image of Earth. You might see the sea, or the deserts, or the mountains, or the whole planet, or areas of it, and extend that color that Earth has asked for, and feel it continually flow down through you and out to the planet until you feel a shifting, the planet receiving this light, this cosmic light, and cooling down. Take a deep breath into your body and open your eyes. Thank you. It's very hot right now, even in areas in the southern hemisphere which are supposed to be moving into fall and winter, are moving from fall and winter into spring. It's hot. It's too hot. It's very hot where I live, and around the world many degrees above normal. And we can influence that by sending out through the ethers energies that will be taken up and allow for a cooling down. So thank you for that. We do have a second part of this meditation that everyone loves. It's called Knowings. And people from around the world every week send in questions that they would like for us to explore in order to uplift us all, to illuminate our lives. And Allison will tell us the questions that have come for this week. Allison?
The first question is from Salt Lake City, Utah, in the USA. Dear Chris, will you explain self-righteousness and why it is so difficult to reach people with this kind of emotional armor?
I would say on some levels we all have that psychogenetic inheritance of self-righteousness. Self-righteousness is a defense mechanism. It's because we are so anxious and so insecure about who we are and the purpose of our lives. So we attach to anything that would make us better than the next guy. It's that old pattern of the totem pole, king of the mountain kind of energy. So we want to win the arguments and we want to be the best. And we look down. If we can self-righteously, in our righteousness, say, well, I'm better than that because I belong to this religion, or because I'm this way, or I'm smarter, or I have more money, or whatever it is, that kind of self-righteousness, then it makes us feel safe because it puts us up above and we can look down upon the others. And it's an illusion to think that that will make us secure. Nothing makes us secure but to find that place inside that says, I am that I am. No better, no worse, and I find it good. And so what you want to do, first of all, is what I think of as a little cosmic giggle, and that is to ask your body where you are holding self-righteousness. Because all of us have, again, psychogenetically inherited a little piece of that, where we want to be the one on top. And again, it's a defense mechanism. It's a way of giving us the illusion of power. And so we can simply, if we clear it away from ourselves, then we're not so likely to see it in someone else. And so one of the things that's very important is to be able to see people as themselves, even if you see that their self-righteousness is a defense mechanism, that they don't think they're so great. And one of the things that I would suggest with that is to mirror for them something that is lovely about them, that you like about them. And that will free them from the necessity to get above you. But this is how we do it. Close your eyes. Ask your body where it's holding that residue of self-righteousness, of having to be the best, better than those others in order to be safe. You might see a place in your body or hear it or feel it. Bring your conscious awareness into that place and imagine that that is a crystallization, an encapsulation of that energy that perhaps you learned from your parents or your religions or your schooling, who learned it from theirs. And when you find that place, again, you don't have to resist it. You have to just have that smile of wisdom and say, if they have it, I have it too. Finding it in your body and saying, what color does this place in my body need to dissolve my self-righteousness so that I see a way through that with others? Take whatever color comes to you and suck it directly into that place in your body and command that powerful light to dissolve the residues of self-righteousness and free you from those conversations. And open your eyes. You'll find that, again, you begin to realize that you really can admire yourself and others without all of the competition, without the self-righteous vertical pole, totem pole of who's ahead. Thank you for that. Alison, what is the second?
The second question is from Vaduz, Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein.
Is it a fault in my spirituality that I tend to argue all the time? And do you have a more enlightened way of challenging someone else's truth?
That kind of ties into that first one, doesn't it? That need. Why do we argue? We argue because we feel the need to win an argument. Because in winning the argument, it tells us that we're the wisest or the smartest or the winner. And we have been taught that you better be the winner if you're going to be successful. And so we want to shed those kinds of energetics within ourselves. And yes, it is coming from the disconnect from our higher selves that can bring us the peace of admiring ourselves, our souls, our spirits for being in body and admiring everyone else as well. And one of the things that I would say when you want to do that same kind of exercise we just did, where do I hold the need to argue and be right? And then what color does it need to be released? But in terms of a more enlightened way to communicate with someone else, again, would be to actually listen to their point of view and find something that you can agree with. And this is a wonderful exercise of polishing, again, your capacity to connect with others, so that it is not just their opinion and your opinion and they're opposite and who's going to yell the loudest or who's going to have the last word, but rather how you use communication, your point of view and my point of view, and your desire could be, how do I bring it so that we can come together? And the way I always do that is by listening carefully and finding an aspect that I can applaud, that I can say, I love the way that you say that. I love that you feel that way or that you live that way. And I wish to be that way as well. If you suddenly are on their side, the argument ends. You have to be willing to end that argument. And I promise you that harmony with another person will make you much happier than winning the argument. And so simply polishing that capacity to connect and to listen and to choose to find something that brings you together rather than feeling that somehow you'll be stronger or feel happier if you push them away. Because winning the argument, of course, is always a way of pushing someone away. We humans, underneath all of that noise, especially that verbal noise, we actually want to connect. And so if you recognize it in you, you'll find it easy. It's really easy. It's this idea that if you were to agree with someone else, that somehow you would lose your power or they would have power over you. That's an illusion. It's an old residue that has come down through generations, through cultures, through all kinds of other avenues. An enlightened life is to find the way to come together, to be harmonious, to be friends, to realize that the truth is that we are all very much alike. And all we have to do is seek that to find that place of peace and the joy of not being separate or I win but I'm now alone, rather than it's you and me and we're together. Great love. Allison?
The last question is from Rome, Italy.
Rome?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you think the invasion of nighttime outside lights on the planet could be a cause of increasing emotional instability in humans and animals around the world? Thank you, Chris, for taking time to answer this.
Oh, I'm so glad that you have asked that question because yes, and the reason for that is that we have this circadian rhythm of daylight and darkness, and we have a master endocrine gland that sits in the middle of the forehead, deep in the brain, in the darkness of the brain. We actually inherited this, by the way, from the lizards, who used the pineal gland to know whether it was winter or summer or how old they are. And we use it actually almost in the same way. The pineal gland puts out and stimulates the production of very powerful hormones, the most famous of which is melatonin. Melatonin, again, supports the maturation of a body from a child to an adult as a part of that kind of growing. But majorly, it allows us to know when it's time to sleep. And so if there are lights around us, because the pineal gland is so sensitive to light, if there is any kind of light, but certainly if you live in Rome, if you live in a city and there are lights coming in your room, that is going to diminish the power of your pineal gland to produce the melatonin, which will allow you to sleep. Now, when we don't get good sleep, it affects our emotions. Sleep is the time when we heal. We heal emotionally through our dreams, releasing things that are disturbing to us. I would say more than 90% of dreams are about releasing emotional conflict. That's why they seem to be so difficult to comprehend, because they're so symbolic. And the other aspect of that, so if you, and in Chinese medicine, we say that from 1 to 3 in the morning is the time of the liver. And the liver is where we hold anger and energy, qi, the body's qi. Now, melatonin is at its highest point of delivery between 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning. So there's this overlap of the energies of the liver qi, the official in charge of qi or energy, and this energy coming from melatonin or not, or the disturbing of your pineal gland, which was also called the third eye, the point of knowing, that tends to influence very deeply our sense of security, our sense of whether we're anxious or not. And there's another aspect of that, and that pineal gland also plays with serotonin. Serotonin, as you probably know, is a neurotransmitter that influences our happiness. And so, again, if your sleep is disturbed, if your pineal gland is disrupted or imbalanced or not functioning, then you're not going to have access to that healing, which makes you calm or not anxious, and centered in your emotional energies. So I would say that you don't want any light. You want to sleep in darkness, even if you have to wear a mask, so that even through a curtain, the energies of light, and especially street lights that are made with lead, so they have this blue light that influences even more so a stimulation or a disruption of the functioning of our pineal gland. And so you want to really feel like the bears or other animals that are hibernating, that when I go to bed at night, I think, this time is for me. I get to imprint something wonderful and something of peace. I always find that I say to myself, and not because I'm thinking of it mentally, but I've noticed that I did, I'm happy. If you're happy, you're safe. And if you're safe, you're going to be well and balanced emotionally. And then making sure that there's this darkness so that there's a healing energy. We also know that street lights with the lead aspect are damaging to the eyes, to the retinal cells of the eyes. And it's interesting, again, there's this interplay, because the pineal gland, it holds the retinal cells, which are the cells that influence peripheral vision. And of course, in the old times when they called it the third eye, they said that expanded vision out to the side that brings this holographic energy was what gave us wisdom, that gave us knowing. And so I thank you for that, because people don't realize that they are losing their life force energy, they are losing their centeredness, they are losing the healing that comes with a good night's sleep. And so I'm glad that we can pass that information out into the world, and so that each and all of us can sleep in the beauty of darkness and know that when light comes, we're ready for the day, and we have already put out the hormones that heal us and bring us into a centered emotional reality. Thank you. Great love to each and all of you.